Roughly around a year ago, I made this kind of little piece of paper, and I wrote this to myself, and it was about how I was going to get into running. I haven't got into running, but I thought I'd just read you this today because I think that touching on this, it should give you a good insight about how you should actually work towards your goals and stuff. So I wrote, if I do this today, my life will literally only get better and better and better. I'm going to go running around my neighborhood and review some of the things that I have done that day, or the negative thoughts I've had, see how helpful those negative thoughts have been, see where the truthfulness is in it, and then compare it to a greater thought that's more positive about that situation. I'm also going to think about something to be grateful for, something I have made progress in, something I've been really proud of doing about myself, something about someone else that I can be really happy about, and then think through a couple of positive realizations for the future. Now, I wrote this about a year ago, and I think I went on 2 runs after that. Now, so many people in these spaces on YouTube, the self-improvement things about improving your life, everything, they will this would be looked as a negative thing. It's you can even stay with that habit. But I'm not even actually that bothered that I haven't been able to stick with that habit, because I think there's a very kind of toxic way that self-improvement is put on YouTube. It's you need to have the perfect life. You need to be able to go out and run every single day, and then you need to hit the gym, and then you need to go and do your ice plunge, and then you need to work on your own personal business for only 50 minutes a day or something like that. And then you then make £1,000 every second, and then you then go on this date, and you then go to this amazing place. You've seen it. You've seen all these videos about people who have those kind of lives. And I think that that's just so unhelpful for people who are not in that position. It's great to be able to aspire to that, but it's not what's going to get you there. If you live that kind of life, you've been able to tweak your life, and you've had so much ownership and time over your own life that you've made it that way, and you've been able to tweak it that way over time. But if you are in the position where you're earning £1,000 every minute or whatever, you're having to be like everyone else. And that's okay, because plenty of people who were everyone else eventually become these people. But trying to do everything that they do right now it's like expecting yourself to skateboard as best as Tony Hawk when you've just got on the skateboard. These people have the lives they have because they've built up slowly and they've got to it. They haven't had this routine and then it's built them the life that they are living in. And so we shouldn't expect the same for ourselves. If we're in a position where we have less resources, whether that be time or money, we have to accept that. Well, we don't have to. We could keep on beating ourselves up and telling ourselves that we're a failure and everything's wrong with us, and why can't we do 50 different habits in a day because they all help us? No, thinking that way and trying to do that, it will just overwhelm you, and it will just make you feel bad about yourself. And you'll so much more easily give up on habits. One habit I haven't given up on is making these YouTube videos. Another habit I haven't given up on is making content for the course that I'm creating at the moment. And I don't need to beat myself up because I can stick to this one right now. When I have a bit more of a position to be able to kind of go to the gym or go exercise and do some of these things, then I'll take them up. But right now, I'm not going to try and cram 50 different habits into a single day, because I will inevitably fail half of them. And then I'll be sitting around thinking about why I haven't done them. And I'll be just setting a completely unrealistic expectation for myself. So my video from last week, just take these things at stages. We only really need to focus on one main thing and get that into a position where it's maintained well enough that we don't have to put a lot of energy into it. Think about the first time when you cooked a certain recipe for the first time. It probably took you a long time. You probably didn't know what you were doing. You probably did something wrong on it. But if you've made that meal 50 times eventually becomes second nature, and you can probably do it in half the time, and you can go and do other things while you wait for certain things. You get used to the rhythm, you get used to the routine. And that's exactly all we need to do when we're improving our lives. We don't need to do everything all at once. We just need to focus on one thing and get it into a good position until it's pretty easy to maintain. This might mean focusing on your health and getting into a routine with that is then livable and achievable, and you can do that with not that much effort, and getting your body in a state where it's healthy again, and then just doing the kind of small little things to keep at that level. This might mean working hard on getting a job, like, applying for lots of different jobs, or if you're starting a business, like getting the business in a position where it is stable enough so it can kind of run with a lot less of your kind of intensive care into it. We just want to secure small things in 4 different areas. We want to make sure our mental health is good. We want to make sure our social health is good. We want to make sure our physical health is good. And we want to make sure our financial health is good. And we just need to focus on one of them. So if you are stuck and you're trying to overload yourself with so many things, I'd say give this a try. Write down those 4 different areas: physical, mental, social, financial, and think about which one of them kind of matters the most right now. Now, every day you're going to kind of work towards something in one of them, but you're going to make one of them the dominant, and then you're going to make the rest a bit more passive. So, for instance, if you wanted to improve your, social health, you would try and find ways to make more friends, or you'd try and make the connections you have with friends deeper. So you'd make that the active thing. And this might look like writing out an honest and brave text to a friend about some things that you've really wanted to say to them for quite a while, but you've just never had the courage to. This might be going and sitting down with a friend and talking through them and actually reconnecting with them once or twice a week. This might be going out there and going to a new social gathering and trying to make a new friend. This is the active thing. The other things would be passive. So this might just be just doing the same job that you're doing for the financial. For mental, this might just be this might just be spending 5 minutes a day writing about something that you're grateful for. Physical, this might be working towards trying to do 10 press-ups a day and 10 sit-ups. And there's progressions and stuff you can do to that. Alternatively, if mental health was the thing that you're really focusing on, social health would then become passive, and it would be saying just smile at someone today, or ask someone how their day was. That's all you'd need to do. And the same thing with all these things. So find one of these 4, think about what's the kind of most important, kind of one of those 4 for right now. It doesn't have to be in the future, but it has to be right now. What's something that you can build as a solid foundation for that and then all the others could sit on, and then spend more and more of your time focusing on that and make the other ones a bit more passive. Just for now, you'll be able to go back and you'll be able to then focus on them and then make the others passive. But try that out and see how it is. And let me know in the comments what you think of that. And if you found that video interesting, then you might find this one as well. See ya.